Hello, my name is Bob Pelzinski. I grew up in Binghamton, New York. Good old Binghamton. I went to SV High School, and my little thing is this whole thing above step above the hate. When I was in school, I was a child that had a disability, reading disability. I got made fun of. I was bullied. I was pushed. I was knocked. I was hit. I pretty much took it all. I played tennis, got smashed in the eye, and had almost stitches in my eye, and went to practice bleeding where my coach wanted me to prosecute the student. I didn't because, again, I didn't want to get bullied worse in school. Um, I happened to be one day walking down the hall in my school and had a teacher that had a cane when I had my back. I was walking backwards trying to quiet down another student, a good friend of mine, to have this teacher take his cane and hit me as hard as he could on the back of my legs, where I fell down and almost went and couldn't feel my legs for about 2 hours. Um, Obviously, it went to the student or school board and principals and everything else. They looked at me and said, "Do you want this teacher fired?" And I said, "No." And a lot of people said, "Why not?" My comment was, fire a teacher, and guess who's going to get it for the rest of his life in school by all the rest of the teachers earning, or in as well, hate me more. I pushed through, got through school, and fought tooth and nail to get through school, to have myself, again, bullied by teachers and students as well. Um, had teachers' comments like they didn't want my kind in with the rest of the students. My kind, like I was some kind of had some kind of plague or some kind of disease that they didn't want us touching the other students. It was kind of frustrating. I was avoided from going on certain field trips my ninth grade year to New York City. Was told to come down to the school and show up. If someone backs out, you are on. I did. You know what happened? He, the principal, walked up to me and looked at me in the face and said, "Son, we never said that you could be on this trip. That's not what you told me and my family. That's why we were there at 6 o'clock in the morning waiting to see if there's an opening." Um, that was kind of a kick in the teeth, too. Especially, too, that I never got to see the World Trade Center that came down, and thank you again to that principal for ruining that little thing for me as a person. And, it's kind of frustrating, and just step above the hate thing is just irritates me to no belief. Hate is everywhere in this world. It's scary. Politics. Anybody watch politics? Step above the hate. Everybody is throwing mud and saying such derogatory thing to people. Every person, it's not funny. I've never been a person to discriminate against anyone. I have friends in every walk of life. And you know something? I don't care what your religion, I don't care what your sexual love in life is, I don't care what you do. If you're a person and you're generally nice and good, then you're my friend. And I will do anything for you. But this step above the hate thing is getting kind of played too much towards people that want to look popular and look like they're something they're not. Because you know something? I see some of these people that say step above the hate, and I laugh. Yeah, a guy, and I watch wrestling too, and that's another one that I get a kick out of as well. Wrestling, step above the hate. All these wrestlers are step above the hate. We are so for it. But wait a minute, are you bashing each other over the backs of chairs, calling each other names, doing things to each other all through the time? It's kind of not looking too well there for you to be role models in that sense. We really, in this country, have to start at home. Step above the hate. I'm fed up with it. If you're going to be a human being, be a human being. Don't put on a face just to look popular in front of your friends. Well, that's me. I don't think it's not a good way to be, but, you know, this world is really messed up. When people can start being real about each other and be real about themselves, maybe that will change. And the one that I get a kick out of are these people that were bullies to me in school come up to me to this day and think that they're my best friends. Yeah, I hold a little bit of hatred towards them. When what they did to me was really wrong. And when you see these kids that go in and gun down a whole school, and that's totally wrong. I think that's just insane. The ones I blame for something like that are the parents. You gotta be parents. You gotta watch what your kids are doing. If I was even attempting to do something like that, or thinking of doing something like that, yes, my father worked nights. My mother ran our dairy farm. I grew up on a dairy farm. But they would have kicked my butt if they even saw me doing anything like these kids were doing. Because they get open reign to do whatever they want at home, and mommy and daddy just kind of look a blind eye. They didn't do that with me. My mother and father knew where I was when I come home from school, went to school, who my friends were, where I was going with my friends. And you know something? We need to start opening our eyes in this world and start taking responsibility. It just gets to be too much. Be real with yourself and be real with who you are. If you're gay, straight, American, any religion, just be yourself and be who you are. And my hat comes off to you. Amen, and have a good life.